Somebody, oh, the gentleman in blue.
Yeah, have you read Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium World or seen the anime?
Have I read the...
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium World.
Yeah, I actually have read the whole manga, and I've seen the series as well. It's a very interesting storyline, and my main issue with it is kind of that, for those of you who don't know, what basically happens is Yami goes back in time to his memories from the ancient Egypt time to when he was pharaoh, and essentially it's treated like as if things that are happening in his mind are what actually happened, but it's not really the case because he's remembering things and then they go off in a different direction because obviously Bakura is manipulating things as the GM basically. So we don't really know what happened at the end of the day, so it's a very strange situation where it's like time travel I already have enough problems with, but then they added this whole thing where it's in his imagination and it didn't really happen, so it's not only is it time travel, it's also it was all a dream, which are the two story concepts I have a huge problem with, you know? Anybody else have any questions? Yes, another link over there.
I don't know if you've noticed, but on the official Yu-Gi-Oh! Facebook page, he actually mentioned Mega Ultra Chicken.
People told me that. People said the official Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan page mentioned Mega Ultra Chicken. Is that like an official page?
Yeah, it was an official page.
Like who runs that page?
I have no idea. I'm not sure if it's either Konami or 4Kids who runs the page, but it was a poll saying, what's your favorite monster? And sorry, Mega Ultra Chicken is not on the list.
Yeah, Mega Ultra Chicken was included, and I was like, really? I saw a screenshot, and I didn't know like how official that page was, but if it's official, then that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I actually, back in the day, like a year or so ago, Toonzai, who was streaming 5Ds episodes when the dub was still being produced, they held a contest to see what the official slogan would be to promote 5Ds, and basically everybody was spamming it with card games on motorcycles. And so they went to a poll to say which one would you like most, and the three options were card games on motorcycles, card games on motorcycles, and card games on motorcycles. Guess which one won? And they did actually end up using it, which was crazy. A very cool one. Let's see. See, I don't want to go straight to the video since lots of people are still showing up. If people have questions, feel free to ask. Yes, gentleman over there. Would I be willing to duel? Unfortunately, I have very limited time, and I obviously I'm running a booth in the dealer's hall area, the dealer's area, and I'll be very busy. And then I have a plane to take right after the convention's over, so I probably won't have time to duel anybody, unfortunately. But if I come back, if you ask me to come back, who knows? That'd be cool.
Who does know?
A gentleman with the black blue shirt, yes, who helped me up the stairs earlier. What is this belt? This is the Millennium Championship belt. This is the 8th Millennium item.
Oh, I should have brought
Wear it over my shoulder. I walk around with it over my shoulder. I guess I can do that. Yeah. I'm the real champ. The champ is here. For those of you who don't know, Team 4-Star, the guy who does the voice of Nappa, Takahata 11, he designed this and made it for me, which is a huge honor because he's made like 4 of these. The one he currently holds is the Internet Championship, which has like the Internet Explorer and the Twitter icon all down it. It's very cool. But I did actually issue a challenge to Dan Green once. Not a real challenge or anything, just a joke. But I said, I can only put this title up for grabs once every millennium, and the one person I'd like to challenge would be Dan Green. So my feeling is that if he and I ever do meet, and I have the belt, I'd be very glad to give it to him. You know, I thought that'd be cool. I'd sign it and give it to him as a gift, because I thought, my way of apologizing. I'm sorry, Mr. Green. Anybody have any questions toward the back? Yes, gentleman with the glasses, yes. Can I do the Freezer voice? A line. From the last episode. So, any final words, filthy monkey? You know, besides gurgle gurgle. He actually has a line that I'm very... I can spoil it for you guys because we're all friends here. I don't want to give too much away, and you guys can't tell anybody. But essentially, Frieza challenges Goku to keep fighting him at some point, and Goku's turning him down initially, but then Frieza offers to getting pizza with stuffed crust. But toward like that happens at the beginning of the next fight, and then when the planet's exploding and Goku tries to fly away, and Frieza tries to hit him with the disc, the thing that he throws at him, he says, "Don't forget your pizza!" And Goku turns around and goes, "That wasn't a pizza at all!" Which I'm looking forward to doing that. Yes, on the right there. I will sign anything at the booth in the dealer's area, no problem. I won't charge anything, and I have all kinds of Sharpies, but unfortunately I can't really sign anything right now, otherwise it wouldn't be fair to everybody else. Anybody have a question? Yes, Vander Keith. You know, people in America, people actually do suggest that a lot about certain, like, the dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a video that got posted, like, in 2009, I think it was, where it was a bunch of footage from GX, the dub of GX with Chaz saying which things, and they said, "Is LittleKuriboh right for GX?" Because it seemed very fourth wall breaking humor. He kept referring to the card game, like he said, the only thing important in life is playing a card game. And it was like, it's like LittleKuriboh, he says that sort of thing. But my take on that is that 4Kids kind of always did that sort of humor. Like if you watch very early episodes of Pokemon, Team Rocket were always breaking the fourth wall. They were always like, "I am a flaming Moltres!" That sort of thing. They would make those kind of jokes long before I did. So I feel like, you know, people are giving me too much credit when they say 4Kids are copying you. I'm like, no, I'm copying everybody else. I'm copying them more than anything. But yeah, I didn't. Pegasus was hilarious in the actual dub of Bonds Beyond Time. I thought that was one of the most intimidating things about writing the Bonds Beyond Time of Breach movie was that when it came to Pegasus, I had to beat that. And I don't think I did, but I liked the face up, face down song. I thought that was fun. But in the actual movie where the building's falling on him and he says, "It's my worst nightmare, I'm being upstaged." That's hilarious to me. I genuinely laughed at that, and you know, that's cool. I love the dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! Anybody else? You already asked something. You already asked yes?
Okay,
Sorry.
so my name is Joey, so I'm wondering if you could like go through some of the characters saying something about...
Something about Joey? You stole my name, you bastard. How does that feel? Do you have Brooklyn rage like me? We'll demonstrate it, come on. It was okay. Joey, why did you summon two monsters? I'm demanding an explanation. You don't know. That's always been your problem, Joey. You never know. Is that cool? Awesome, sweet. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Could you explain your process when you're voice for a character? Like, do you start with scratch, or do you ever impersonate somebody else?
Honestly, 9 times out of 10, I will impersonate somebody else's voice. I very rarely create something unique. Like, for example, and when I do create something unique, it bothers me because people are always saying, he's doing an impression of this, and I'm like, no, I'm not. The Marek voice is kind of a combination of Skeletor and the Monarch from Venture Brothers. It's a very strange combination. But the one voice that people can't seem to place that is technically me imitating something, the sensei, what's his name? Iruka from Naruto, because he talks like this all the time. And people are like, he's doing Meowth, and I'm like, no, Meowth is more like this. But the Iruka character voice kind of stemmed. I'd just seen the movie Bolt by Disney, and the rhino, the hamster, he's sort of more of a fanboy kind of voice, and I was just playing around with it, and I just settled on this somehow. And that's how that came about, and it was fun, and it's a very irritating voice, but it's memorable if nothing else. But 9 times out of 10, I will imitate other characters, sometimes completely, like Beavis and Butthead. But that Beavis and Butthead was actually one of my big influences because Mike Judge obviously voiced 90% of the characters in Beavis and Butthead. And I was like, wow, this one guy's doing all these voices. He's doing Beavis, Butthead, the teacher, Miss Van Driesen, the principal, everybody, except the females. Maybe I could do that. I don't know. So he's a big inspiration to me. Yes, in the red.
When you're about to make a new episode or do a lot of voice acting, do you have any like special warm-ups or exercises you do to get your voice?
I wish I did, but I mean, everybody in Team 4-Star tells me like doing like mouth exercises helps. Like Taka keeps telling me to go before I start. I just wing it myself. I guess drinking soda is my exercise. Terrible idea. Do not do it. But I do it anyway because I'm thirsty. But no actual exercise. No, just sometimes there's like I don't know what the name for it is, but there are lines that you remember how you say them in certain character voices that help you get back to that character voice. Like Masiko's Gohan line is "Go on," or something like that. And my Bakura line, which is from a very old video called Bakura Answers Questions on YouTube from back in the day when I did character videos. His line to get back into his voice is "My name's Tristan," which is a very strange thing to remember him saying, but it helps because his voice kind of has a down and then up, down at the end again. So it's fun. Any other questions? Way at the back of the hat.
I noticed when you voice Shoddy, you say something in Polish, jak się masz.
Yes.
And I remember seeing that you also dubbed an episode in French, like
Yes.
entirely in French. How good are you with other languages?
Not that great. I mean, the Jak się masz thing is actually from Borat, which is a character created by Sacha Baron Cohen, and I basically, again, I imitated somebody else. The French thing, I did study French in school. Most of it's gone out of my head by now, but I remembered how to say basic things, so I just recited somebody else's French script for the episode. So I kind of cheated, but I mean, I can say basic stuff in some languages, but I'm not like bilingual or anything. Hey, yes.
I'm really curious because it was just so random, but in your Naruto Smooth series, what was the deal with the paper clips and Subway coupons? Like, was there a story behind that?
There is a story behind that. I kind of have to talk about my relationship with Marvel. We only have like 10 minutes left, but do you guys mind if I skip the video and just keep answering questions, or do you? We're cool? Okay, cool. Because otherwise I have to set everything up and it would take time. I feel like I could be wasting you guys' time. But the paperclip and Subway coupon joke, there is actually, I mean, you've seen the original Naruto abridged, I assume? Yeah. Okay. There's a scene in episode 28 of their show where somebody, I mean, there's a lot of jokes in the Naruto spoof that are based on stuff that they say, but this is a very specific one. The reason that Sasuke turns evil in their show is because they offer him paper clips and a subway coupon. And Team 4-Star watched that and they were like, that's the stupidest thing we've ever seen. And they kept bringing it up. They were like, paper clips and a subway coupon, really? And so I just decided that the way everybody is convinced to do something in my series is because they offer them paper clips and a subway coupon. And I'm actually doing a Naruto spoof panel at a convention this year, and I'm literally going to bring paper clips and a subway coupon, put them on the desk and let everybody take them if they want. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of obscure jokes in the Naruto spoof, like the Mermaid Melody fan-dub thing, and the Will Ferrell joke. That's a reference to something that you guys might not know about, but yes.
What's the Mermaid Melody fan-dub?
You want to know about the Mermaid Melody fan-dub joke? There is a joke in episode 3 of Naruto Abridged where they're talking about how they hate the fact that they have to do all these menial chores because, despite the fact that they're ninjas, and Kakashi says to them, it could be worse, we could be watching a Mermaid Melody fandom. And I was like, what the hell is a Mermaid Melody fandom? So in my mind, watching a Mermaid Melody fandom is the worst possible thing that could possibly happen to you, even though I don't know what it is. So every time somebody's in a bad situation, they're going to say, it could be worse, and then it leads on to the Mermaid Melody fandom. But in the next episode of Naruto Spoof, they're actually going to be forced to watch a Mermaid Melody fandom. And it's going to literally be dubbed by Will Ferrell. It's going to be the strangest thing you've ever seen. Link?
Yeah, my character could sort of explain the mermaid fan.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, because if there's like an entire section of YouTube it's just fan dubbing, but like some girls who don't really have that good mics and stuff, they actually go towards mermaid melodies. Since it's sort of a kid show in Japan that has a bunch of songs, it's easy to sing in Japanese and stuff. So a bunch of girls start singing it, and most of the time they're not that good.
Oh, so basically it's referencing bad fan dubs that people have done.
Like I've ran into so many that I'm just like, this needs to stop. I can see why they're saying this in Naruto Bridge.
Right.
I don't get the joke.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. L, way in the back. I'm not Kira, by the way. Okay. Yes.
How do you feel about being referred
Sorry,
to?
I can't hear you.
How do you feel about being referred to as a
I'm going to come over to that, sorry. My bad, sorry. I'll give you the mic.
How do you feel about being referenced to as a minuscule version of a minuscule character in Yu-Gi-Oh?
very small?
LittleKuriboh, right. I'm not going to go that way because something will happen and the speakers will go crazy. Sorry, Bakura. How do I feel about being referenced to as LittleKuriboh? I feel it's very appropriate because I am a very minuscule person in the grand scheme of things, and I'm also very hairy. But I like Kuriboh, and the original name I was going to go with was Cursive Dragon because it was the most pretentious thing in the world, and I wanted to be a writer. But that's a pun, by the way. Cursive Dragon, not Curse of Dragon. Get it? It's terrible. But LittleKuriboh just sort of stuck, and I don't know. I don't really think about it anymore. It's one of the things, though. It's like it's a name at this point, and I'm surprised by a number of people who actually come up to me and say Martin rather than LittleKuriboh. People know my real name at this point, which is really weird. Like the first convention I went to in America was AWA. Well, not the first convention, but the first anime convention I went to, AWA in Atlanta, and somebody came up to me at the booth and was like, Martin Villainy? And I was like, yes? And I was like, what's going to happen? Are they going to kill me? It's like, are they testing me to see if I know my own name? Martin Villainy? Yeah, okay. Any last 5 minutes of the... Somebody way in the back, I think it's the other link. Yes?
I'm sorry if this question has been asked before, but what inspired you to use Yu-Gi-Oh as the series?
What inspired me to use Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
I'm a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan, so basically what happened was my first experience with Yu-Gi-Oh was I saw the poster for the movie in a cinema in Glasgow, and I was like, oh, it's terrible. I was like, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. It's obviously just a Pokemon ripoff, right? And then I watched an episode at like 6 o'clock in the morning because I had insomnia, and I was like, this is stupid. Why do they care so much about a card game? What the hell's going on? Why has that guy got a weird voice? Why is he now deep and booming? And why was he a little kid before? What's going on? And then I kept watching. I was like, this isn't Pokemon. This is very different. This actually has it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. The characters change over time. What? Come on. Pokemon doesn't have any kind of thing like that. I should be 40. And I mean, literally, you can watch one episode of Pokemon. You've seen every episode of Pokemon. Kind of. But Yu-Gi-Oh, if you watch the beginning, you get to know these characters, and then you care about them, and then bad things happen to them, and you actually care, and things change, and the relationships alter, and it's epic storyline. You know, it's a big deal. And I actually genuinely got into the show, and I was like, I want to do something to celebrate the fact that I love it so much. I'm going to make fun of it, which is kind of the way I show that I love things. I make fun of them like crazy. That's how I settled on Yu-Gi-Oh! As I was a huge fan. I still am a huge fan. I still love seeing people show up in cosplay as Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters. I still watch the show from time to time. It's difficult to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, having made fun of it so much and actually invest myself in the story, because I've just literally seen the episodes over and over again, and I've had people like show up, like doing the voices from my show, and I'm like, I can't separate the two anymore. It's difficult, but I still love it. It's great. Let's 2 more questions we've got time for, I think. Lady on the right there. Can I sing the Adventure Time song in any particular voice or just married? Okay. Adventure time! How does it go? Come on, meet your friends. We're going to very distant lands with Manic with the corn of the cat and Manic the human. The fun will never end. It's adventure time. One last question. Who wants it the most? Lady right back there. Where did the in America thing come from? He wears an American flag on his head. That's pretty much it. I was like, because originally he says asking for help is illegal, and I was like, what if you just added in America on the end? And I was like, okay, now every line has to end with in America. And I actually got a message from somebody on YouTube as soon as that episode was shown on the first time it was uploaded, and they said, that's great, you came up with a great catchphrase, now you should never use it again. And I was like, really? Okay. And then I did it anyway. And people liked it. I've seen people cosplay as Bandicoot. There's one right there. And I don't think anybody would have cosplayed as him quite so much if in America didn't happen. You know, it's pretty crazy. I think we have time for one more question. Yes?
Do the baby Pharaoh voice.
Do the baby Pharaoh voice? It's basically the Pharaoh voice. I mean, you can read on my shirts. Wah, wah, baby Pharaoh wants milk. Somebody fetch me. I think that's about all we have time for, but if you guys come down to the dealers area, we have a setup. I can answer any questions you have down there. I'll sign stuff, I'll buy shirts. Very nice to meet you.